Hello, everybody. My name is Perry. This is my girl, DeJuana, and welcome to R3 Unplugged,
A real couple
sharing real talk
about real love. People who don't know us personally or don't know our history or our stories, oftentimes we hear that you guys are the perfect couple, or it's such a fairy tale how you guys connected up after 15 years. But we know the truth about our stories and our histories.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted to share with you guys the importance of your backstory, not being afraid to share your history, your past with one another, so that you can really connect up and be sensitive towards one another in the relationship and truly understand why we make the decisions that we make, why we flow through relationships the way that we do. So for me, my backstory is that I'm divorced and I'm a mother of 3. And so when Perry and I connected up, I had to share all of this with him as I went through the process of getting to know him. Even in our friendship, it was important for me to share. So, we had the luck of knowing each other as friends, so he was there through my history and my backstory. But then I also had some things to share with him that had occurred to me prior to us becoming friends. So all of that was important to me to let him know so that he could truly understand who I was as a friend to him. And then once we decided to have a relationship, he had full disclosure of my past, the fact that I had children and that I was divorced. So he had that knowledge, and so it's easier for us to connect instead of after the fact, relaying this information to him.
Correct. The objective is to be able to be transparent with one another as you are beginning the establishment of a new relationship. You don't find out everything all at once, but as the relationship develops, then layers of revelation and of the person's past begin to be brought forth to you so that you do have a healthy understanding of what they've gone through, which affects how they function in relationships.
And then just like Perry, he had his own backstory, right?
Yeah, in my case, involved in relationships, dating different women over the years, and those different relationships I've had affected my perception of what I value in relationships with a woman. But fortunately, in our case, through our various relationships, we were involved with other people and still being friends throughout these 15 years. God has so worked it out that He has crossed our paths to connect up. And now we're in a place where we both value the same things in a relationship. We both understand the importance of the teammate concept and how that complements, enriches, and benefits and solidifies the union.
Yeah.
And so we're on board.
All right.
To be able to make the DP collaboration a truly mutually fulfilling relationship.
And the only way that we were able to do that is by understanding the history, the things that we've gone through. That was the only way that we can, do truly this partnership and truly connect. And then understand, because, I may do something in a relationship, or I may expect certain things from him, and he understands why. Because he knows the history. He knows what I value. I know what he values because we were open and we shared. And so the thing is, we see a lot of people, individuals, singles, they're afraid to enter into a relationship because of their past. They think that they're, undesirable or not worthy of a relationship. And they're scared to share their story. But if you cannot learn to accept your own story, then no one else will. The only way that I was able to open up to Perry, and the only way he was able to walk through that door to get to know me and be in a relationship with me, was because I was open and transparent. I figured that, hey, I need to just lay things on the line, be honest with him, because that's the only way that we can establish a friendship and then a relationship. So I let him know up front, and I know it's not easy for everyone, so you do it in your own timing, but it's important that you do it, and if you stay stuck in that past, then you can't move forward. You can't say you want a relationship if you're not willing to accept your past and share it with the person that you want a partnership with.
And in order to be able to progress forward in a healthy relationship, you have to be willing and mature enough to assess what you've gone through that's hurt you or that has negatively impacted how you function in past relationships, and being able to correct that by being able to be honest with the new person that you're dating and allowing them the opportunity to walk with you through this process of transformation from what you struggled with to now what you've owned up to and are now able to move past along the track of a healthy new relationship with someone who's truly a team player and loves you for who you are, does not look down upon you for what you've been through, but values what you have to offer and is willing to say, I'm your team player. I'm willing to go with you step by step as we grow together in this relationship along this path that God has prepared for us. It's not a bed full of roses. There's some thorns and challenges and struggles and issues, because no perfect relationship ever exists.
Right.
Every healthy relationship has some ups and downs, but the key is that you thrive on progressing forward with the healthy part, and that which is challenging, you deal with it together and don't allow it to be a stumbling block causing more problems unnecessarily. Exactly. So really valuing each other, loving each other, and say, hey, we in this together, and I know that every day is not going to be a super high, exciting day. We're going to have some challenges, but consistently, the love for each other, the support for each other, and being there for one another is the consistent, regular happening all the time. And there's a phrase that we came up with, I came up with that I share, that we're a good work in process, making progress in our process until our process is completed. And we're getting better, baby, all the time. So the key thing is that I'm getting better, baby, all the time. As time goes on, we get better, we're growing, we're learning, we're becoming more in tune with each other. So it can't help but be more fulfilling as time goes on. And as we continue to stay in tune with God the Father, stay in tune with one another, and allow the relationship to develop in a healthy way to establish us to be strong, supportive of each other, and more importantly, a healthy mentor to other couples that God will allow us to interact with.
And I think that another important thing is that with your past and with your backstory, you have to make sure that once you decide to be in a relationship, that you've fully accepted their past, that you don't throw it in their face after you guys connect up in a relationship. You don't try to one-up each other or try to compare. You have a worse history than mine. You went through this and I'm better than you, or throwing it, in each other's face when you get in an argument. That is off limits. You don't hit below the belt. And that's something I think that we've mastered, is we've never thrown each other under the bus about our past history. We don't throw it in each other's faces. So we understand that it's a true partnership and that we've fully accepted one another.
All about the healthy, not about the hurtful.
Exactly. So we've moved from that point of, okay, that's what happened in the past, so let's move forward and progress in a relationship towards the future. Definitely. And so I think that's something that you have to always remember, because I know it's difficult sometimes. A lot of people like to throw stones or throw it back into each other's faces when things get heated, but you cannot. That's off limits in your relationship. Once you've accepted that person and decided to be in that relationship with one another, you've said, I accept you 100%. In spite of your past, I accept you. And that's important. And a thing that we wanted to actually entitle this video is that it's a God tale, not a fairy tale. So we're dispelling the myth of the perfect couple. Because there are two imperfect people coming together in a relationship. So, through that coming together of two imperfect people, that's when God gets to show us who he really is. He gets to show us his grace, his mercy, and his power to forgive. And so that is exemplified through each and every person's relationship, because we all have a backstory. I mean, even the way you've been brought up in your household and your parents and what they've instilled in you, whether you come from a single parent home or a two-parent home, that is a backstory in itself. All of the things that you've gone through. So God is able to show all of these wonderful things of who he is. And so that's why we say it's a God tale. God is telling us, this is who I am. to get you guys. You guys are imperfect. You have all of these issues,
Mm-hmm.
all of these histories, but in spite of it, you're able to
he's
make...
accomplishing his perfect work through both of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're able to have this healthy and whole relationship in spite of.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to share with you, is that don't be afraid to tell your potential mate about what has happened in the past for you and how it shapes how you see relationships and how you move through relationships with them. Don't be afraid. Be open to it. It's important to know what your backstory is. It's important to accept your own backstory so that your partner can accept it too.
And remember, if you're honest with each other, you can truly grow together
Mm-hmm.
and experience a mutually fulfilling, beneficial relationship with each other.
That's right.
Amen.
So that's it for another episode. God Tale, Not a Fairy Tale, Dispelling the Myth of a Perfect Couple. We'll see you next. Yes, exactly. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.